What time is it?
Conversations about the latest and the greatest in the world. We can talk about that man, or you can tell me about old girl. Got a secret, hey, don't lay it on me. You need a friend, I'll be your big homie. Let's take a sip and talk it out. Therapy without the couch. On the rocks is what you need. Come toast reality with me, hey. Now tuned in to Rhonda on the Rocks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. I am happy to be here in season 3, just trudging along, doing my thing as I do my thing. Today, I have a very special guest. I have known this gentleman for over 20 years at this point. We went to a college together that will remain nameless because we experienced a lot of microaggressions and all kinds of things at said university. I did not graduate from there, but my friend did. I did graduate college, just not from this college because they was hating on me. And they didn't want to see me grow. But anyway, I want to introduce my really, really good friend. You may know him from the music world, but I know him from back in the day. My good friend, Mr. Zeke Locke.
Yo. Got to like Martin since you're watching Martin now. What's up?
Welcome to the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. My God, I feel like a celebrity.
We have been in space together quite a bit over the last 6 months, but this is your first time coming on my side of the table. Like I've been on your side of the table and been co-hosting with you and having a ball, but now you've stepped into my world. So welcome
and you do an amazing job over on that side. But now I'm feeling like I'm on the where it gets real side, over on that side, we're welcome in the morning, over here. Ooh, it's nighttime. The tie is off. I mean, what's up?
Listen, the gloves are off. It is.
My goodness. I'm a little afraid. We'll see what happens.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's me, the best version of myself, version of myself that I have really worked hard to be. And so when people come on this side of the platform, I encourage people to be themselves as well. Like it's not just Rhonda on the Rocks. Everybody is on the Rocks when they come over here. They straight themselves, no chaser. And so feel free to be yourself.
Yes, girl.
I love that. Absolutely. And that's why I'm so proud of you and this whole podcast and all of it.
You.
And I'll forever plug it as much as I can. I'm honored to be here. So thank you.
Yes,
you and all your rock stars. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was really excited to, when you agreed to be a guest because you're so famous and you have so much going on. And I was just like, if I could just have an hour of his time, it would just mean the world to me. No, but I'm really excited to dive into this conversation today because, like I told the audience, we've known each other for a really long time. Damn! But I feel like when we first met versus who we are now are two totally different people. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're a lot older. We've experienced a lot.
A lot older. I don't know about that now.
Well, I mean, You're a lot older. I'm just still a baby. I'm still just a baby.
I know you're always a baby in my eyes, right? But yeah, sure though. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we just different points in our lives, right? We've experienced things. We've graduated college. You've traveled the world. We've done some traveling. We've just done things.
Yeah.
And so I always say, like, I always have known you as Zeke. Like, I mean, you directed and led the gospel choir, but you was my homie.
Yeah.
But to see you now as like Zeke Locke, like the recording artist, and even the young lady who came to my party and was like, I don't want to fan out. And I'm like, not that people wouldn't fan out about you, but I'm just like, Zeke, like, oh, I know Zeke. Like, that's my homie.
No, that one caught me off guard too. I was like, oh my God. Like, what?
Yeah. That I was just like, and not even on no hating shit. I was just like, wow, like this, like you are Zeke Locke. You are Zeke Locke. I was actually watching a friend of mine's podcast yesterday, and he had someone on his show that's a pretty big influencer from Gay Magazine. He goes around and like does interviews, big content creator, all these hundreds of thousands of followers. Sure. And so he was asking the question of like, how did you feel when people first started to recognize you? Like they would see you out in public and be like, aren't you so-and-so? And so I've only had that experience one time from like a stranger. Where was I going? Was I going to? I think when I was going to, was I going to Miami? I don't know. I was going somewhere being fast. Somewhere I ain't had no business going. That's why I can't remember. The Lord blocked it out of my mind because I ain't had no business going. I had no business going down there being a hot girl. But wherever I was going, it was recently. It was this year. So it had to either be Miami or Virginia. And the TSA agent was like, you look so familiar. And I was like, are you in a sorority? Like, I know we didn't go to the same church because I know everybody that I went to church with. We definitely didn't go to that university that you and I went to.
We knew all of them.
Like, yeah, every single solitary one. And she was like, I was like, you listen to podcasts? I don't know how the podcast came up. I think I asked her, did she listen to podcasts? And she was like, oh my God, yes, I know you. You're Rhonda on the Rocks. And I was like, girl, pet me down. Get me out of here. It was so awkward. Like I didn't know how to respond.
It's like that moment you don't know how to receive it. Like it's almost like, do I say thank you? Do I feel awkward? Do I go cheesy? Or do I show that I'm genuinely shocked right now? Because I mean, who the F are you? Like,
and
how
I'm
do you
like,
know me? Like,
exactly. I'm like, you're patting down my groin at this point, honey. I can be whoever you want me to be. Just push me through this goddamn line. Like I will be whatever and whoever. Yep, Cinderella, sure, that's fine. Yeah. Like, where do you know me from? Whatever. Just get me through this line. Like, I'm not messing with your nigga. I promise. That's what I do know. I'm not messing with your man. So let's stop there.
Yeah, when somebody starts saying that, that's like the first thing that almost comes to mind.
Right.
Like,
I'm like,
they finna be on some bull, or is this like
right
somebody who know me for real, or
right?
Yeah.
I was like, girl, where do you know me from? Because I ain't never seen you before, not even in the airport. So it's my first time ever seeing you in my life. So where do you know me from? Hurry up and say it before I get nervous.
Out here, and I would add this in case the rock stars don't know it. I can actually officially say it over here.
Yeah.
This goes back to before Rhonda on the Rocks, but when you started podcasting, because you've been doing the podcasting thing for a while. But when you did your first podcast, I told you I was over in Norway. And a friend of mine was like, so when your friend was talking about such and such, and I'm like, girl, I don't know. Like, I didn't even listen to her episode yet. Like, I mean, like, you listened to her? I don't, like, what? And so then, as the thing evolved, I was just, I remember telling you that when you came on my show, like, people overseas sparked up a conversation about your podcasting. And that's just, like, it's crazy how the world always say this. The world is so big. Like, it's so big to be staying in one place. But also it's so small that you could be somewhere way on the other side of the world and somebody freaking knows who you are. You didn't even know it. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was so cool, So
Yeah, I
kudos
think
to you. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. I just think it's one of those things that I know that I have to get used to because I know that
Sure.
this podcast is going places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I see why people get like media training and all of that stuff because you think you know.
Yeah,
You think you
exactly.
know because you got a podcast. You oh yeah, I know how to talk. I know how to answer questions and all of that stuff. And baby, you get in a certain position and you like, I don't know what the fuck to say. Like I'm just lost. Like you just get
Mm-hmm.
stuck.
Yeah.
Genuinely, when that girl said she knew me from because that wasn't nowhere near my mind. Honestly, I was
Mm-hmm.
like my sorority, like college. I don't remember you from like school,
Yeah.
like those
Yeah.
sorts of things. But when she said the podcast, I was stuck. I was like, oh my God,
So
thank
what did you
you.
ultimately end up saying then?
I was
You
like,
know.
I just said thank you. I said, oh my God, probably 15 times first. And then I was
Yeah.
like, thank you. Oh my goodness. That's so like, you just made my day. Like, I didn't know
Sure.
what else to say other than you just
Yeah.
made my day.
That
And she
makes
was
sense
like,
though. In those moments, I,
yeah,
I don't know what to say ever in those moments, but it's always
yeah.
the moments though, like for media training and stuff, when someone comes up with like random questions and things that's like you
Mm-hmm.
need to have an answer. Otherwise, you stand there looking kind of like an idiot or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So like having to know how to, just how to maneuver through when you need
Mm-hmm.
to, and I think you do a great job at that. So that's why I say you're built
Thank
for this.
you. Thank
You're
you.
gonna be good. If anybody's gonna be good, you're gonna be good. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, I think being a teacher for so many years when you have to like learn how to pivot on the fly, either because kids are not understanding what you're saying or
Sure.
kids are bored or because somebody coming in to observe you and you just got to kind of like, and from church,
Yeah.
we
Well,
both grew up in
that
church.
yeah.
Like, don't
You
get up
gotta
there and
say
don't
it
know your
4 ways
scriptures.
so it lands and try to hype them up while you're doing it.
Exactly.
I mean, you
Exactly.
learned it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Mm.
all of that, like, training growing up has contributed to me being able to kind of figure it out relatively quickly, which I'm grateful for because
Sure.
it led me here into this. So I am grateful for that. We're going to
Hey.
jump into the first segment, which is the weekend rundown.
Run it down.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
So
Rhonda on the
this
rundown.
Rhonda on the run. Why didn't I think of that?
Huh?
Dang.
Clap that. God dog it. I
Clock
done came
it.
over here and said it
Clock
wrong.
it.
Are they going to edit that? Clock it. I said it right the
Clock
first time.
that
There we
T.
T.
You're
go.
right.
Clock it.
The Rhonda rundown. Okay, so Friday,
Mm-hmm.
my good friend Genesis just celebrated her birthday on September 3rd. And
Oh,
so Friday we went to karaoke. And that's the other thing, I had weight loss surgery. And so
yeah.
people who see me who haven't seen me in a while, their reaction, like it just I love it. Like I'm grateful
Yeah.
that people notice the
Oh,
difference,
good.
but I
Yeah.
genuinely do not know what to say. I'd be like, "Oh my
Mm.
god, I don't like." I'd be like, so awkwardly, like just holding up the peace sign, like,
Yeah.
like I don't know what to do with my body when people are like, "Oh my god, you look so good." I didn't even recognize. I'm like, "Thank you." I don't know what to say. I'm just not eating anything. That's all. So when we went to karaoke, I do my best work under the influence. Okay. I have the best harmonies. I feel more confident. I do all of my best work under the influence of alcohol. And so, of course, people are like offering to buy drinks and stuff like that.
Sure,
And
sure.
I was turning everything down. And it's so
See?
crazy
Yeah.
because I remember a time, baby, I would look forward. What? Get off work on a Friday? I'm straight to the liquor store, ordering my Uber Eats on the way. So by the time I get
Mm-hmm.
home, my food is what? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting drunk by myself, like getting turned, hookah, the whole nine in my
Yeah.
loft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it's just different, like not doing that now. And the same thing with
Sure.
Saturday. I drove to Indianapolis for our good sis Jamaica. Her mom had a birthday party. It was a
Hey.
grand old time. Jamaica sang down. I mean, just what a talent. Um,
Yeah.
but there was also a ton of alcohol there as well. And her family members kept saying, like, come on, drink this wine. And I was just like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to keep saying, yes, I just recently had weight loss surgery. So I can't,
You
like,
gotta explain yourself over and over
yeah.
again. Oh, yeah.
So I've been kind of, I don't want to say struggling with that, because I've mostly been around people who know.
Mm-hmm.
But the hard part has been being around people who don't know that I've had weight loss surgery, and like being like, no, I'm not drinking. No, I don't even want any pop. I'm just gonna do water with mint and lime, like that sort of thing. And like I realized, it made me reflect on all of the times that I've been around people who said that they weren't drinking, and I'm like, what? You're not drinking? Why are you not? Like making this huge deal about it? And now I'm just like, oh my God, I don't like when. And not that people do it so much, but like there is this like pressure. Yeah, to drink. So
like you could almost make somebody else uncomfortable by doing it. So it changed your whole way of thinking. So you saw it now through a different lens.
100%.
Isn't that crazy how life works? Something you would have stood 10 toes down for
10
just
toes.
2 years ago. Oh my God, how you gonna not drink without it? And then you go through your own thing, and now you see it through a different lens. Change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. Wayne Dyer, yeah,
for sure, for sure. So that was my weekend. It was sober and relaxing. What about yours?
That sounds fun. Mine was it was kind of busy, actually, believe it or not. Like, I thought it was a typical answer for me, right? It was so busy. Oh, my God. Like, my wife had me running around. My wife had been in the hospital for a while. Shout out to Mrs. Locke.
Yeah, shout out to my girl.
Yes, if you see anybody with the name of Panky, report them to the authorities, because I changed that person's name. So she did get her names fixed. But anyways, you can keep that in there, too. So when she sees this episode, I remind her. But she had been in the hospital, of course, like it was kind of an unexpected trip. So now that she's out, we had a bunch of catching up to do with stuff. So we had to like do some banking stuff. We had to do some running around, all of that. And then I found out, like, so I live in this town, Whiting, Indiana, shout out, right by the lake over east. And so they do a lot of good festivals like Pierogi Fest and all that stuff. So we step out and we realize there's this festival going on down by the lake called the Empanada Festival. Never heard of it, never seen it. So I decided I wanted to go down there. So that night we went out there. We had tacos, empanadas, elotes. We found this really, really good sweet tea that got like fresh fruit in it, somewhere from East Chicago. And like at first my wife was like, oh, I don't think I want that, and I got one anyways, and now she's addicted. So we found some good food. They had, listen, I didn't understand a single thing that was going on there. They did not, they had the music, it was bumping. I mean, everybody was talking in Spanish. Everybody, and they all doing the Mexican chant things with the doing all of that, and we just like, I understand 2 words they said. They said Chicago, and it says, but the Mexican empanadas, look at my black self. The empanadas and the, the tacos and stuff, it was good. Found some good food, so that was cool. Then, of course, church all day Sunday, so that kind of did it, but just tried to, I will say this much, though. We did go to one of my favorite restaurants. Shameless plug, and they didn't pay me to say this, but they're just so good. Kennedy House of Pancakes. Oh my God!
Oh,
yeah. So it's like
better
a little
than
diner.
The Wheel.
So they're not okay. They're one of my favorites. The Wheel still for me gets like top tier. But okay, so last time we went to The Wheel, do you remember trying to order some grits? And I was like, oh, that's right. This is the place that doesn't have the grits. Well, anyways, yeah. The Kennedy House of Pancakes is the place with the grits. So I was able to have a bowl of grits. And I was happy. So, it don't take a whole lot to please me. Some grits and some eggs and some.
Yeah.
But The Wheel is still top tier. No, The Wheel is still.
Yeah.
This is The Wheel. This is everybody else. So. Yeah, so it was a good weekend, though. It was good. It was good. We just had to do a lot of working and stuff. Like I said, I got my little outing late at night. And you know what I realized, though? Now that the weather is flipping, this was the weekend. This is what the weekend really gave me. And this is what I'm struggling with. I love summer, but now that the weather is flipping, it was cold outside that night.
Yes,
we were down there and literally had on a sweatsuit and with my hood up, like doing like this. Like, it just changes so quickly here in Chicago. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm struggling with. The summer is gone, and I just you feel
I
like
know.
you didn't get everything done that you wanted to in the summer, and here we are. Like
Yeah,
it
I
ain't that
literally
bad.
feel like
Yeah,
that every single summer.
yeah,
Every summer, I'm
yeah.
like, I should have did this. I wanted to do this. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do this. I mean, this
Mm-hmm.
summer, for the most part, I was like down pretty much the whole summer.
Well,
I
sure.
mean, the end of June, all of July, pretty much, because I wasn't doing nothing because I couldn't eat, and I was just like, "What's the
Well,
point?" Um, but yeah, I haven't traveled any, which is why I was really excited to go to Indianapolis because I haven't been anywhere, and I still didn't leave the state that I live in.
yeah.
But at least I, kind of
But you
got to
got
be
away.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love traveling. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. So not being able to do that was kind of like
Yes. Absolutely.
the pits. But
Yeah.
well, I'm glad that you guys had a great weekend. Although it was busy, at least you got to go to the Empanada Fest. And although you didn't understand a word that was being said,
Not
you still had a
nary a
good
word.
time. Listen, I'm talking a language barrier ain't never stopped no show.
Listen,
Okay,
yeah, that part. The taco. Give me taco and pork. As
that's
long as
it.
you understand that. Taco with
Listen,
steak. Yeah, I'm good. Just
that's all.
serve me my food. I'm all right.
That's all you need. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna jump into the next segment, which is one of my favorites. It's called Love Bites.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid well and often.
And initially, this segment was me like complaining about niggas, complaining about dating, complaining about all of these horrible dates that I was going on and the people that I was going on dates with. But since you're here, we can talk about the beauty that is marriage. So
Oh
the
yeah.
last time I was around Zeke Locke back in the day, Zeke Locke was Zeke Locke. Okay? That's all I knew. I knew Zeke Locke, Zeke Locke, Zeke Locke. Okay? And so when we stumbled upon each other again at the early part of this year, I was like, and I thought to myself, I was like, wow, she is so blessed because Zeke is such just a good, genuine person. But then when I met Sticks, I was like, oh, this nigga is the one that's blessed because this
you could have
girl
stayed on the
is,
first part a little longer. I mean, God.
this lady is so sweet. She's so like soft spoken, but not in a like, you can say whatever you want to say to me type way.
Yes.
She's very matter of fact, but she has like confidence where she's like, I don't have to raise my voice. I said what I said, and that's it. And I just love that. That's T. I'm gonna try to take a page out of her book. I don't know if it will happen. I've been loud for 37 years, so I'm not sure that I can change that now. But so yeah, I mean, y'all just popped out and showed niggas like we're married.
Literally.
You had your matching berets on in your pictures, and I was just like, excuse me, but if you're gonna do it, that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer now. Like, first of all, niggas is too embarrassing to just be posting and talking about them too regularly. That's what I've come to know. Every nigga that I've ever posted has embarrassed me, and I'm like, nope. Next time I post a nigga, it's gonna be, this is who I'm gonna be holding his obituary up. This is who I was married to for 30 years. Y'all never saw him because I never posted him. That's how it's gonna be. But yeah, so y'all just popped out, married, and now it's been what, 8-9 months?
What are we in September for
this?
Yeah, so 9 months. We got married January 1st. January the 1st. So
that is so I just love that. So my question to you, Mr. Zeke Locke, is like, what have you learned in the past 9 months? This is your first time being married. This is not your first time being engaged, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But what have you learned in the first 9 months about yourself, about marriage? Like, what have you learned?
Yeah, we had a crazy story because we were kind of like together for so long. So it feels like some of the newness that was there, and like, just us being together for so long, we knew so much already about each other. Like the transition was like kind of easy. So we kind of come in from a different level, and we had already been through the ringer with each other. I mean, like off on, and for niggas being niggas, you know how to go.
Yeah.
You know how to go.
Yeah,
I'm
you
still
know
Zeke
how
Locke,
it
baby.
goes. Yeah.
I mean, it's
I know
just
how-
it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
but we had been through so much already that we got to the point where it was like, okay, what are we doing? What's this going to be? What are we going to do? Like, I got some things that I know that are coming up in my life, like now, and I need to act on them. I need to move on them, and either we're going to be together or we not. And she was kind of in that same space. And so one of the things that I learned was vulnerability, because we had to, it's not that we weren't vulnerable with each other, but I think when we sat down and we had like a straight up conversation, it was like, take love out of the equation, all that. What do you want to do with your life? Like, where do you see yourself going? This is where I see myself going. Where do we have to make compromises? Where are we just not going to agree? Where do we agree? And like, because that's the conversation that started off, the idea was like, okay, bet. So are we going to get married or not? Then that was October, November, the top of November. I think I just got back in from Dallas. I was doing some filming down there. And so we had just got back in. And it was like, look, this is where I'm at with it. And I just went in a tangent. And before you know it, like within a week's time, we had gotten engaged. And by January, we were like, neither one of us wanted to do a whole lot of planning, other stuff like that. But I mean, I'm saying all of that to say, well, by January, of course, we were married. Didn't want to do a whole lot of planning. It was like, if we're going to do it, might as well just get it done. But it started from honesty. And so the thing that I really learned probably, and I'm still learning it about myself in this season, is that I have to just be super, super honest with somebody. And realizing that you have somebody you can be that vulnerable and honest with. And so, a lot of times with us, especially being PKs and all of that, we shield a lot of stuff, or just being a minority who has worked and grew up and went to school in all kinds of spaces that were not our spaces. You shield a lot for yourself. You hide a lot from yourself, even in dating, even in, because how do I really know you here for me? How do I know that you're not trying to just like wiggle into my family, or wiggle into, I don't know, being cool by dating the guy on the stage, or what, just whatever. So holding these masks. So having to learn and realize, no, this person, if there's anybody else on the planet that you can be straight up, crazily, bluntly honest with, and you have to learn to do that. And so as those walls tear down more and more, it makes life kind of cool, actually, to have somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sacrifice comes with that at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? You have to be willing to let go of those walls, but you also have to be willing to accept the walls that they're letting down and make it easy. Sometimes I don't listen. Like, I know that. Like, sometimes I don't pay attention. I don't know where my phone is half the time. I don't do. So one of the things that I did say, like, once we got engaged, one of the things that I did specifically for her, because my phone is usually like a do not disturb and all of that, but her line has a direct connection to me, even when I'm in do not disturb. Like, we keep our locations on, so I always know where she's at. She always knows where I am. I mean, it's like this knowing that somebody like is watching you, seeing you, hearing you. It's brutally honest, and I love it. You know what I mean? So honesty, I think, and I don't mean that in honesty like I'm out cheating and stuff, but honesty, as in no masks, no walls, none of the masks or things, the facades that we try to put on. You don't have to be, like, I mean, we walk around the house butt naked, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just because why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, say the nastiest stuff to each other. She gets mad at me actually now because she tries to do all these videos and stuff. So she has like a million videos in her phone of me, but every time she pulls it out, I always either say something nasty or do something nasty. Oh my God, I can't never post you, But I mean, I can do that now. Like,
she actually, that's so funny you say that. She posted a video on YouTube yesterday of you, but your voice is muted and it's just music playing. And I said to myself, I was like, I wonder what he's saying, because you were just smiling, eating your sandwich or whatever you were eating, and you was just the cheese. And I said, I wonder what he's saying, but couldn't tell. She put that music.
Was it nighttime? It was at nighttime.
No, it was like dusk, like the sunset. Y'all were at the beach, and Y'all were like sitting in chairs in the water, like you said.
Oh yes.
And,
Oh
and
yes.
uh, she was just like, I think it was like, "There goes my baby." I think it was that song. And
Got
I was like,
you.
I wonder what Zeke is
Ain't no
saying,
telling.
because you was just like,
When I say
whatever you were
wild
saying.
stuff, when I be
Yeah,
saying I
she was
say
like,
wild
nope.
stuff, I be like, girl, you gonna let me go over there and eat that thing up later? Like,
Because
if
the marriage bed is undefiled.
right, that's what
Okay?
I said. Like, yes.
So if your husband can't say that to you,
Yes.
then who can?
Yeah. But you know how
Like,
people get in the comments. Oh my God, he all that, and so
listen,
But I
I've
I
waited
enjoy
all my
making us
life.
squeamish.
I waited all my life for that. Like, if a nigga don't talk nasty to me, he don't really like me. I'm convinced.
See,
Like, if you're not trying to bust me down every chance you get, you don't really like me. Especially if we married. Like, if we're in this forever. So like,
you stuck
come and
with me.
get it. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. You didn't let everybody else have it, so hell,
Listen,
give it
we
to your wife.
enjoy it ourselves.
Listen,
We
you
enjoy
must.
it ourselves. And we
It's a
have to
must.
because she spends a lot of time like in the hospital and stuff. So like with her illness and stuff. So having to like make sacrifice in that area, you know what I'm saying? Have to learn that honesty. Like have to learn how to be again extremely honest. I got a busy life. I got a lot of things I do. So when she goes into the hospital, there's that aspect of it. So when we see each other, we try to enjoy ourselves as much as we can. We walk around the house dancing with each other and doing all kind of stuff. I mean, just always passing jokes. I mean, we crack on each other. I mean, just, like a typical friendship, but we have to do that, especially for us. And again, that's where the honesty, that's where the being much in love and having fun when we can. We take random trips and next weekend we might be somewhere gone and don't come back for 2 days just because we drove too far and we need to stay in a hotel. We've done that before, but we enjoy that kind of stuff. And like I said, because now even with that illness, then there comes that honesty again, like being honest with what weighs on me, her being honest with when because she's a strong woman, like you saw that quietness about her. She gets that way for real. She tries to do more than sometimes she probably should be, even with sickle cell and all that. So it's like, no, but you got to be brutally honest with me. Like if you feel like you're finna go to the hospital, just tell me. Don't try to hide it because you think I might, react a certain way, or I might get, I don't know, or I might try to shut stuff down or something like that. Like, no, we're here for each other, and this is the vow that we took. And so you learn that honesty. You learn a lot about yourself in these kinds of ways. That frankly, just I don't care how long you've been with somebody, and I'm saying that from experience. I don't care how long you've been with somebody. When you actually sign some paper, like when this ring actually goes on your finger and you actually sign some paper, and you can have all the trust in the world for somebody. But when it's on paper, it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but something flips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is like, no, this is mine. Like if somebody say something out of pocket, I might have to go to jail. Like, I mean, just some flips. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you my engagement story?
If you have, I'll no, tell me again.
I probably haven't told you, and saying this is my podcast, so I can say whatever I want. So I'm gonna tell this quick story. So my ex and I, like it was a very, very toxic relationship for a lot of reasons. I knew him for years. I actually met him while going to school at Olivet. Or the university that we went to, that it was Olivet, Nazarene University. One Bourbonnais, what is it? One school street, one university drive?
University Avenue, Bourbonnais, Illinois.
Okay. But anyway, so I had known him for a number of years. We were friends. 2020, my dad passed away, and a few months later, he got out of prison. My ex got out of prison. So he had been in prison a couple of times during the duration of our friendship. So anytime that he had come home from prison, I had always like, we just kind of fell back into where we were. And so this particular time, of course, it was like big welcome home, like really excited to see him. And I think more than anything for me, part of it was like happy to have my friend back, but also like because I had experienced such a great loss, I felt like I was getting something back after losing something, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And so the first like couple of months, because it was COVID, like we were spending an excessive amount of time together. And when he went away before, I wasn't living on my own. I hadn't had like my own place and all of that stuff. So this time it was like, oh, I got my own crib. Like you can come over, spend a night. Like we could just like have fun. And we were just like friends. And then of course we started fucking and then it just went from there. And so, like later on that year, we got into a relationship, blah, blah, blah. What I didn't realize is when a person has been institutionalized like that, they're not ready for the world. And I don't care how much you give them. I don't care how much you try to show them. I don't care how much you take them, give them, buy them. If they are not, they're just not ready for the actual world. And in my mind, I'm giving you stuff, I'm buying you stuff, we're going out of town, I'm spending excessive amount, maxing out credit cards, okay? To just make sure that this man had anything and everything that he could ask for or think of. And not that he was asking me for. I will say that. He wasn't like asking me for things. But if I'm wearing Jordans, you wearing Jordans. Huh?
That's your love language a bit, right? Then you say that.
Oh, 100%. Gifts is my love language.
Yeah.
But when I think back on it, part of it was like, I want to be the best thing that ever happened to you so that you won't leave. I want to show you, give you the world so that you will think the world of me and therefore you won't leave. And it wasn't so much as, it was just because I had experienced so much loss. I was like, I've been friends with this man for 20 years. I'm not trying to lose him, if that makes sense. So anyway, time goes on. He cheating out of both motherfucking draw legs. Like this nigga was doing any and everything that he, but you've been locked up. So all of these old flings, people that you done messed around with in the past, like all of these people just keep coming up. Not to mention, I really feel like he struggled severely with mental health. I recognized it, but I wouldn't acknowledge it because in my mind, again, I don't want to shine light on this and then he leaves.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this a big deal and now he's mad at me and he leaves. The bottom line was I wanted him to stay. And so I endured and dealt with a lot of bullshit because I didn't feel like I could handle another loss. And so how we got to the marriage thing was we had been like bumping heads, like going through hell. And he was like, basically, I don't remember how we got to it. It was probably after some like big blow up. And he was like, if you really love me, you'll marry me. And we were like trying to have kids. It was just, child, I just, well, sometimes I look back like, bitch, really? Like, girl, it was never that deep. But at the time, like, again, when you're in a state of grief.
That part. Yeah.
If you know, that's all I can say. If you've never been there, it's hard to describe. You just, I don't know, your mind is just not with you. Like, you just kind of like going through the motions and somebody may say up and you like, okay, up. And then somebody say down and you like, okay, down. Like you're not making decisions well. Sure. And so it was basically like, if you love me, you'll marry me. And he was like, if you don't, then I'm going to ask, and said the name of this other woman. And so in my mind, in that moment, I was like, I got to be the best bitch. Like, I have to, like, ain't no way this bitch don't have as much as me. She don't look as good as me. She ain't got as much money as me. She's not as smart as me. Ain't no way I'm going to let this bitch win. And so I went to work one day. We went to Markham Courthouse. It was in October of 2022. Yeah, October 2022. We went to Markham Courthouse and got a marriage certificate, because they give you
Like
the
the
certificate
license?
first, or
Oh,
license first. They
well, I
give you
did it
something
Indiana though.
first, and then you have 60 days to actually do the ceremony and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so they give you the license, you have to bring it back signed.
Okay.
Yeah, you got
Well, they
60
gave
days to
us,
bring it back signed.
okay, that's what they
Mm-hmm.
gave us, a marriage
Mm-hmm.
license.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
them 60 days went by and expired. And it was almost like after we did that, first of all, he didn't want anyone to know. It was like, don't tell nobody, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, nigga, you asked me to marry you, but now you're telling me don't tell anybody. Okay.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
And I didn't, because I was like, people are going to be like, are you insane? So it was, my silence wasn't because he mandated it. My silence was like, I am ashamed that I just did this. And the whole time I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what? It was like almost like I was outside of myself. Like, what are you doing? But also, the other side of me was like, I'm not finna let this bitch win. Like, if anybody gonna marry this nigga out of all of the shit that I've been through, I'm finna marry this nigga. Like, I felt like I had a point to prove.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it didn't happen. He may have asked me, because of course, after we get the marriage license, it's on me to like call and schedule a day and all of this stuff. It was nothing it wasn't like, oh my God, we're getting married. Like, this is exciting. It was just like nothing after that. And he would occasionally be like, oh, did you call and make an appointment so we could do this? And I'm just like, what? Like, what day do you want to, do you have like, that's going to be our anniversary date. You got like, do you like 7? Like, what number are you feeling, nigga? Like, give me something. You not giving me nothing. But yeah, and it's so funny because the license expired on my father's birthday, which was December 13th, which is the day before my birthday.
I was gonna
That's
say,
when the
I
license,
didn't know that.
yeah, that's when the license expired. And I felt like that was a sign from God. Like, my dad was like, absolutely not, girl. Like, no. So yeah,
Wow.
that's my my engagement story that no one has ever heard before. So exclusive.
Aww. If I
Yeah.
was running Zeke Live in the morning, I'd have the music playing behind it. Like,
I was born by the blood of Jesus Christ. You'd have to play that song,
yeah,
because
then
that's,
I'll play that after, just to break the moment, like just to break the
yeah.
mood. No,
Yeah.
what you just brought
So
up, like the whole grief thing, like the grieving situation. You know what I'm starting to recognize, and after talking to a bunch of psychologists and other stuff, like in the work, some of the work that I do, like grief, obviously you're grieving something really major. You're grieving your father, you're grieving the person that raised you, the person that you look up to, all of
yeah.
that stuff like that. So you've taken a massive loss just on what the direction of your life is. And oftentimes we think of grieving, it's like we only think about those losses right there. And though that can send us down the crazy path, like one of the lesser known things is that people go through grief, because grief is just any kind of loss. So there's people, that's why you end up in those same situations. And I'm saying this to whoever might be hearing your story and resonating with it and maybe thinking to themselves, well, I didn't lose somebody. Yeah, but if you lost like a relationship and now you got a rebound, that's a grief situation, because you lost something and now you trying to just, like, I don't want to lose something else. I don't want to lose this. It may be going upside my head. They may be doing all of this. And it's so many people making those same decisions. They lost children,
Yeah.
lost relationships, lost a job even. I mean, you know what I mean? Like lost a friendship, like I don't know, loss of an opportunity. And so they just make ill and poor choices. And so you ain't the
Yeah.
only one. I would be lying if I said I ain't been down that road. I mean,
Yeah.
after it's not my first engagement. So going down that path before, just like just wanting to fill the space up or something like that. I don't know what
Yeah.
that, I don't really know what that is. I guess it is just kind of just wanting to fill up, a space that's now gone or something. And yeah, you could be telling yourself full on, like, should I be doing this? And Meanwhile, you go to bed content that you should not be doing it, and you do it anyways. Paul, right? Like every time I wouldn't do evil, evil was right around me. So I find
Mm-hmm.
myself doing the thing that I said I wasn't gonna do, and the thing that I said I was gonna do, I didn't do it, all because of this thing, you know. And a lot of times we try to over spiritualize it, make it like sin and all of that.
Right.
But sometimes it's just straight up life. You lost your father, like, and so
Yeah.
now the thing that you know you would not do is said you wouldn't do, and all this other stuff. Now you find yourself actively pursuing it,
Actively.
you know,
Actively.
and so many other people are in that same boat. That's why I love. See, that's why I love your platform, because you're so vulnerable like
Yeah.
that. There's other people who know they've been down that same road, right? And they trying to figure out what's going on with them. Now their life is all in shambles. It's like, did you take some kind of loss recently? Did you have some kind of a grief that you're dealing with? Is there some space you're trying to fill up? And this isn't just
Mhm.
about keeping it in your pants, like you just horny all the time. Like it's just that. Like maybe you're legitimately dealing with something that you need to. This is why I push people towards counseling and stuff like that. Like go
Sure.
talk to somebody. Like, and deal with that first. Figure out who you are first, like in this new change of life. And you know, like I said, if I'm being honest, I going through my love journey didn't probably would have ended up down that same road, like
Yeah.
not taking the time to just figure out who I was. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just it was like you wrap yourself so much into this other person, you know, that then when you take that loss, because you know I didn't lose a parent, but when
Right.
that relationship ended, oh my God, like
Yeah.
anything that came my way it came my way.
Listen,
A
okay?
moment that should not go over your head. There's
Listen,
I
don't
mean,
let
but
it
it was
go
just
over your head.
fishing.
Yeah.
Taking pride in give me a 24-hour period and see if I can get 4 to 5 in a like, I mean, just and taking pride in that, like
Yeah.
internally, and you know, and still going to church, like
Yeah. Because
that's
it's that desire to win or to come out on top because you feel like you've been at the bottom.
Mhm.
Like I felt like I was at the bottom with the very nigga that I was laying beside every single night.
Yeah.
Like I knew that he was not being faithful. But in my mind, I was like, I just can't lose. Like I felt like I was in a constant competition and battle. And one thing that I will say, when a woman's fed up,
It ain't
nothing
about it.
you can do about it. And
Yeah.
that's the part. Like it took me a while
Yeah.
to get there. But and I tell people all the time, like, I pray that he has the life that he deserves. I don't wish no ill on him. I don't want to see him laid in the front of nobody's church. I don't want to see him walking down Halsted. I don't. Like, I have no desire to ever engage with him again. And it's so funny. I was listening to a podcast today, and this is going to kind of like transition us into the next segment, which is called Bald Headed Ho Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a babe, but I left the nigga at home.
Hey, drop one, what we doing?
Bald
Y'all
head,
talking about
ho
work classes.
Yeah.
Drop one, the
Bald head, ho shit. Bald head, ho shit. Get it, bitch. Bald head, ho shit.
Where we're going to talk about forgiveness. I was listening to a podcast today, and do you know who Sam Collier is?
Yeah. He's
Like a pastor?
Is he a
As a
musician?
musician? He might
Yeah.
be. I don't know. I had never heard of him before this podcast. I know he's a pastor. He may do music.
Maybe he might not even be the same person I'm thinking of, but sure. I know the name
Okay.
though, yeah.
Well, anyway, he had a very public divorce because he's a public figure. So he had a very public divorce. And he was talking about how his heart's desire is for his ex-wife to have the man that she deserves, to have the husband that she deserves and the life that she deserves. And even though they're marriage and their divorce was horrible, he still like wants that for her.
Yeah.
And it made me question, like, have I reached that level of forgiveness? Because part of me, when I say I hope that nigga had a life that he deserves, in my heart, that like over here, I'm like I hope this bastard suffers. Like, I hope somebody goes upside his head. I hope somebody choke slams him to the floor. Like, I hope that he experiences the kind of hurt that he caused me, because it was way more than just physical. The physical I could almost handle, because he wasn't just beating my ass. Like, we was in this motherfucker tussling. Like, I was fighting him back. But the emotional, like, you really played me. And sometimes I wonder, like, I feel like I have forgiven to a certain extent. Like, I'm past the point of, like, you know, you get bit by a dog and you lose your leg. Yeah, you know, like, I'm past that point. Because I genuinely, he has children and I've lost my father. So I don't wish that for them. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I don't know that I'm to the place in my life where I can say, I really hope that he has a beautiful wife and family and a good paying job and they buy a house. I don't know. Like, I mean, I hope he all right, but I don't know that I wish good things for him. I don't wish bad things for him. Let me be very clear.
But it's like, I'm not actively wishing. I don't wish nothing bad happened to you, but I don't necessarily wish nothing good happens to you either.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Like, yeah.
And so when I think about forgiveness, and I guess I can pose this question to you, like, what does that look like? Is it different? Does it vary? And I'm not talking about like Christ's forgiveness and all of that. Like, that to me is like over here. I'm talking about regular nigga shit. Like, regular human. This person done dogged you out. This person stole from you. This person hit your mama upside her head. Like, where we at with it? You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Yeah, like, where is it actually? I like how you just separated that. You said Christ forgiveness versus regular, like, everyday. This is like, because, you know, if you're gonna be Christian with it, then Christ is what you aspire to be. It don't mean like that's what you are right now. So if Christ gets us to ultimate forgiveness, like, you see it through that line, and that gets us to ultimate forgiveness, well, that's my goal. But if I'm honest, and, you know, and there was a time where I had to get to this point, which is like, that just ain't where I'm at. Like you just said, that wasn't where first time I went into a studio and did my own song. I had wrote this song and it was so angry. And my friend, shout out to my friend Garrick, he's found a lot of these old songs, and he was like, either this dude is a musical genius. It's like my first time in the studio. He's like, and he said this literally. He was like, either this dude is a musical genius or he is crazy for real. Because the lyrics to this song, like, there was one song, it was like, it was directly to my, you know, I was in love, right? She called it off, and it was, so the song, the lyrics was something, and it just came to mind when you were explaining this. So if I mess up the lyrics, don't nobody know, because I never released the song. So anyways, like, I'm about to overthink it. It's like, I don't need to do that. But the lyrics, like, there was a part there where it said, I hope you have a good life without me. And then I'm like, no, that. I hope it's full of misery. I hope you get shit on and feel my pain. And then something else like that. Like, and this, I mean, and it was like, I wasn't singing it. You know me, I'll sing and put it together. It was like, nah, I was screaming it into the mic. Like, so I hope you have a good life without me. And I was like, no, fuck that. I hope it's full of misery. I hope you get shit on and feel like, and I was like in the booth, just like, like, I mean, and this
you need to
Garrick
sing
is
that
like,
song
he's
to me. That sounds prophetic.
I gotta see if I can find it somewhere. You know what I mean?
But prophetic to me. I hope you get shit on
and feel my pain. Like, but like, for a season, I was so consumed with that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just to the effect where I really, frankly, couldn't have a good relationship with anybody else. I mean, I couldn't, because I mean, even if there was something good, like, I'm like, picking apart now, okay, how you gonna leave me then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Starting to believe now, oh, I'm not worthy to be loved. I'm not worthy to be married. I'm not worthy for so, things can go real, real good. And then it gets to this point where something like in the back of my mind is going, oh, okay, yeah, how you gonna leave me now? So I mean, if she would leave me, how you gonna leave me? How you gonna so like holding on to that just kept me from even seeing anything else. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I got over it. I don't. I wish I could get on here and have like this crazy love story that goes,
Yeah.
but then my girlfriend who at the time came along and she just changed my life and I could only see her. And it's like, I don't have that story. I really don't. Like, honestly, I don't have that story. That unforgiveness it just had to do its course. Now, today,
Mhm.
honestly, good. I mean, I jokingly say I don't say a name
Yeah.
like that. Just jokingly say that, but it don't affect me one way or the other. I mean, I honestly
Mhm.
hope she has a good life. I hope she, and I started to see a silver lining. The fact that it didn't happen, like I wouldn't be with the woman I'm with right now. I wouldn't have had some of the experiences that I had. I mean, like I even give some grace now. And I got to this point. This was the first point that I got to that I held on to that got me to, I think, a point where I was able to forgive, which was realizing that when we had a just for the two of us, we had a really honest conversation one time because we were kind of off on are they gonna
Mhm.
do it, are they not gonna do it, call the engagement off, all this. We had an honest conversation. And from that conversation, we decided, yes, we're going to get married. All is well. The very next day, she calls me on the phone. I'm at work in my office. She calls me on the phone and says, no, I don't think I can. So the one little silver lining I saw in there was, you know what? I would rather that happen now
Mhm.
than to get 5 years down the line and we got 2 kids and we got a house and we done moved somewhere and all that. Like, I see what divorce does. Like, because
Yeah.
I came from that kind of house. Like, I don't want that, And
Right.
I was raised well. There was no, but I just don't want that. I didn't want that feeling for my kids. I wanted me and my children's mother to be together, and that's all they know. And the only
Right.
circumstance that would change that is if one of us, God forbid, would have passed away. But I don't
Mhm.
want them to have me as their daddy and then another man raising them as their daddy when they're over there. I just didn't want that. That was
Yeah.
me.
No, I
And
get that.
so, you know what I mean? Like, I saw what that did. And so the one silver lining that I had was, I'm glad that you had the balls to do that before. Now, did I like the decision you made? I did not, but can I respect it? If I could at least respect it, then it was, but did I like it? No. Like, and was I sold completely? Absolutely. So I hope you have a good life with that. I mean, no, that I hope it's full of misery. I hope you get like,
Yeah.
and that's just where I was. And then,
Yeah.
year by year, it got better. But I thank God for the experiences that I did have
For sure.
as a result, even though they didn't stick or nothing else like that, because of like it led me down a trajectory that overall just being open and being out and being about and still like even letting some of the things that were angering me drive my creativity and fuel me
Mhm.
to learn different stuff, and then I could recognize it in other people's stories and just kind of work through it. Like, it got me to where I am now, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
but I wish I had someone, like I said, I wish I had one of those stories of,
Mhm.
oh yeah, it was this way, and then I met someone and they just changed my. No, it was like the culmination of everyone I met. So now I learned to just kind of like, to make it spiritual, see God in everything, and
Mhm.
when I see Him in everything, then the little things that don't make sense, like at a certain point, they just don't make sense. Like, if I
For
really want to
sure.
be in love with somebody one day, then I got to let go of the one that proved that just wasn't going to do it. No matter how invested I was in it. Sometimes you invest in a business and shit just don't work.
That's it.
Like sometimes you invest in business and you got to file for bankruptcy. Like,
That's how it
grieve
go.
it and move on. Like, that's
Yeah.
you know, start another
Yeah.
business one day, but you can't start another business still paying for a business you already declared bankruptcy on. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
yeah.
100%. I ain't gonna say I think. I know for a fact I would not be doing this podcast if he and I were together. If God would have let them children be conceived or let us have gone through with that marriage or where, I don't know where I would be, honestly.
Yeah.
I know I would be out of my rabbit ass mind. I know for sure. Like I would not be myself for sure. Just because he wasn't ready to be no husband or a father to new children when he was trying to maybe or maybe not, I don't know, fix his relationship with the children that he already had or regain, because like I said, he had been locked up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his kids hadn't seen him. They hadn't been around him or been able to spend time with him either. So it was constantly like, it was just not a battle, but there were so many other competing things. It wasn't even just the women, right? Like it's the kids, him trying to like find a job. Like you a big felon, big time felon, big triple felon. Like you're struggling. You know what I'm saying? He needed Live Free Illinois, all of that. He needed all the resources.
We definitely could have hooked him up too if he was just getting out of prison. Yeah, yeah.
Child, let him find his own way. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. But he just had a lot going on. Sure. But I selfishly, and can admit this now, I selfishly at that time was like, I don't care. Like I will supply all your needs according to my riches from my job. I will supply. I just wanted it to be about me, and I think because again, I was in that state of grief. I had experienced such a big loss. I was grasping for straws. It was COVID. People were dying left and right. My dad died. Really didn't know what was going on with jobs and stuff because we weren't like going into the schools. Gratefully, you know, we didn't have any layoffs or anything like that. But the world was in such a unsure place at that time. Like everything around me. It wasn't just the loss of my father. Like I don't. What if my mom gets sick?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or my brothers get sick, or you know, people in the grocery store going crazy. Like it was just the world was just like happening, and I was like, okay, this is something permanent. This is something that I felt like was stable during that time, and it was for a minute. Like it wasn't all bad, but when it was bad, it was hell. And I remember plenty of times praying and being like, God, just if you get me out of this, I promise you, I won't go back. And God will give me a way of escape. And I would escape for 3 days. And then that grief, like that, like, I wonder what they're doing. They probably wanted this so that they could go be with so-and-so. And it was just a lot. It was just a lot. So I feel like I've reached a certain level of forgiveness. And I think I'm good with that. Like I don't think I'm in a place anymore where I would bring all of that stuff into a new relationship because I've realized what it was. I've identified all of the areas where I feel like I had gone wrong. And it's taken some time. Like it's been years since he and I have been together or whatever. But I started grieving that relationship before it was done. Like I had spent plenty of time grieving that relationship because I knew without a shadow of a doubt that it was going to end. But I wanted to control when it ended. And even though, and at the end of it, I didn't control when it ended, but I knew for a fact. And I used to say all the time, if my dad was living, there's no way in God's green earth I would be with this nigga. No way at all. There's it wouldn't even have been a thought that crossed my mind had my dad even been breathing. He didn't even have to be like aware. If his physical flesh was on this earth, I would not have been with that nigga. There's no way. And so, like I said, I feel like I've reached a place of forgiveness where I've forgiven myself first. Because a lot of the issue was with me. Like my insecurities, the things that I allowed. I can't put all of the blame on him. He did what I allowed him to do. he took advantage of what I allowed him to take advantage of. I walked into that courthouse and signed my name on that paper.
Mm-hmm.
He did not force me. There was no gun put to my head. He asked me and I agreed. So I can't blame him for that. What I can say is I recognize the place that I was in during that time, and I've told God I don't ever want to go. Like, whatever I got to do to stay out of Lodi Bar, I can't go back there. I can't go back there. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Interesting. I'm gonna ask you a question. You can take this, you can cut it out. I don't care, but
Yeah, no, I'm not
this
gonna
might
cut
be a
it.
really tough question. You can say, Zeke, shut the hell up if you want to when I ask this question. But okay, but there's gonna be a precursor question, and I'm gonna ask it though.
Okay.
All right, then I'm gonna give you back your own show.
No.
Do you like you do me on my show where you be like, okay, I'm gonna take over your show and ask you some questions.
Right.
But like, no, in real talk though, okay, so did you really love this man?
Yes.
Like, I mean, you really like your heart was like really,
absolutely.
Like, beyond just the grief of it all, like there was these things like moments that you could hold on to,
100%,
latch on to. Okay, cool. So that's the precursor question. All right, so this is the one you can tell me to shut up, and if it stings the nerves, but it made me think about this when you were explaining, because I had to come to grips with one of these two. So, which, and I don't mean to compare traumas or compare pains, but which pain hurt worse, losing your father or losing a relationship? And I asked that question intentionally because And if you want, I'll answer it where I am from first, because
no, I can answer it.
Okay.
I think losing the relationship with him specifically hurt worse because death is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But you dogging me and breaking my heart was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was not caught off guard by my father passing away. One, because people die, right?
Yeah.
Two, because he had a illness that some people die from.
Okay.
And so it wasn't a shock, so to speak. Like, all death, I feel like, has a level of shock, but I wasn't like, it wasn't like, here today, gone tomorrow type deal. Like, it was, there was an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But with my ex, like, I would have bet money, Zeke. I would have bet my house that that nigga would have never, me? I would have bet my home that nigga would have never did me like that. Yeah. Never. So I would say for me, there's almost nothing that's comparable to, is it comparable? Comparable. I don't know.
It depends on what side of the country you from, I guess.
I'm going to go with comparable, whatever y'all want to say.
Comparably comparable.
That. To my father's death. And so I don't, people can take it how they want to take it. But that particular relationship, losing that particular person who I thought would be in my life like, I thought we was going to do this run together. I knew my dad. I expected my father to pass away before me. Mm-hmm. But like, I really thought that me and that nigga were going to do life together. We were going to have children. Like, you were intertwined into my family. Like, Tammy knows you. Like, my friends that I've known for 20 years know you. They calling you brother and all of this stuff. Like, you are a part of my life. Yeah. And I just didn't think, fine, we break up, but I didn't think you would do me like that. Like, I just did not think, putting your hands on me, like calling me out, like saying mean and nasty things to me, like intentionally doing things to hurt me. I was completely caught off guard. And so, I would say that the sting of that for me was tougher than losing my father.
No, I completely resonate with that. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't lost a parent, God, praise, like,
right.
Jesus.
Thank God.
Like, Yeah, but like my grandparents, like my grandmothers, I was very close. Like I had multiple grandmothers because, of course, my mother remarried and all that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
was close with all my grandmas. But two of them
Mhm.
died. My two blood grandmothers, right? So
Yeah.
my mother's mom, it was unexpected, and that was like the worst pain I ever felt until that point. Besides my older cousin when he passed, like that was a pain, like these levels of pain. But then by
Yeah.
that same year that my grandmother died in June, December, my paternal grandmother passed away. So my biological
Wow.
father's mother, right? And I was very
Mhm.
close with her. Dies the same year, 2008, both of those in that year, right? I mean, just like one hit after the other, barely over one, then we
Right.
lose the other one. Later on the next year, I think, yeah, so it would have been 2009. That's when the engagement was called off. Like, we got engaged earlier that year, then the engagement was
Yeah.
called off, the whole nine, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that hit me so hard when I realized this is like the worst freaking pain I've ever felt. Like my grandmother's passed, and that was the worst thing. Like I could not imagine that. That was
Mhm.
just my lord. But this right here, like what the, and so like trying to like almost a guilt, like you know what I mean? This almost guilt that was going on. That was like, how you gonna grieve this person you met like however many years ago? Like you know what I mean? Like how
Mhm.
you gonna
Mhm.
grieve this person versus your own like grandmother? How does this grieve worse? How does this grieve
Right.
worse? And so when I realized that, and also the person didn't pass. I mean, this person is still walking the earth. So it's like the sting of that. Like, it's like, why? What you mean you talking to somebody else? Who is this? All of that. And when I realized that was a different kind of pain, that was so what it was, like, just had to own that. I mean, I
Mhm.
really just had to own that. And until I could actually own that, I couldn't actually heal from it. And we're talking years down the
Oh
road.
yeah.
We talking dealing with other folks who probably would have made great wives and traveling around and doing all kinds of other stuff. Could not let that one thing go. And when I realized like that pain just hits, it was like, okay, like own that. Own
Yeah.
that is like something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Just
Mhm.
own that and then let the cards fall where they may. And now I'm cool now. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
I had to own that. And like I
Mhm.
said, that's why I asked you, when it came to your father and stuff like that. I mean, like it's this. Did you almost feel that guilt though behind that? I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know. And obviously,
Yeah.
it's two different types of losses.
Yeah.
But if you just call loss just for the sake of the argument, like did you feel some kind of guilt to that effect?
Yeah. I think I felt guilt when I would like recognize the state that I was in. Like I
Sure.
would see myself being like, damn, bitch, like you on here sobbing. When the last time you cried about your daddy? Like,
Yeah.
hello? You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
would be like Zeke, honest to God, sometimes I look back and I can visualize myself where I was during that time, which is how I know like I was not functioning with a full deck. Because I
Yeah.
can I can physically see with my mind's eye, like I would be toe up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the level of anxiety, like my nervous system, um, and because like I said, because he was so fucking prison prone, I would always be like worried about him when we weren't together. Like, what does he do?
Mm-hmm.
I hope he don't get in trouble. I hope he don't, just like the constant, almost like obsession with,
Mm-hmm.
like, I was fixated on him so much
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I, it would just like send me over the edge. Like, it would genuinely like send me over the edge. And I
Mm-hmm.
would occasionally feel like, man, like, when's the last time you cried about your dad?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still you always have moments of grief.
Sure.
And I still
Sure.
have moments of grief about my ex, not in a like crybaby way, but there are
Mm-hmm.
times where I'm just like, I miss the companionship. I miss the like having a person,
Mm-hmm.
I miss those things. Um but yeah, I would definitely feel some levels of guilt, like this is not normal. Like you don't even cry about your father, but my dad was good to me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like I miss my dad for sure, But like my dad was good to me. So I have way more good memories than I do bad. You know what I mean? I got my butt whooped when growing up and, little stuff here and there. But my dad was good to me. He was a good person. He treated me right. He respected me. And so I just miss my father in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I would definitely feel guilty sometimes. And even now sometimes I'm like, did I spend so much time consumed with that relationship that I didn't like fully grieve my dad the way that he should have been grieved? Or, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a, 6 months here and, whatever, but I'm like,
No,
did
man,
I give him
for every
his,
person?
yeah, like, did I give him enough of my grieving after he died? Because he passed in April, Bobby got out of jail in September, and we was 40 going north September 1st on. And it's so funny because every time this month rolls around, it just reminds me of that time. Like, it reminds me of, like, when he came home and just like all of the things. Just all of the things.
Yeah.
And so I sometimes check the prison website too to see if he's gone back. But anyway.
Wow. But that's, I mean, if you own that, that's just,
because
people
I'm like,
do that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is what people do. When they're like dealing with a situation like that, when they're dealing with the grief, when they're dealing with the loss, this is what people do. And it's like, I know some folks, and this is where, for some of my Christian folks, they get mad at me when I say this, but when I say like forgiveness is a process, like I don't really just believe you just one day it just squashes or some new situation comes along that just makes you forget. It's like your brain, you spent years putting these synapses together in your brain as you were with somebody trying to link with someone. It's going to take a long time for that stuff. If it took 3 years to build it, it's going to take 33 years to kill it. Like, I mean, it takes a lot of time to destroy those synapses, but it's like you have to own what's there. That's what the method that worked for me, right?
Yeah.
Own what it is. Like, okay, bet. Grieving this. Yes, this is a grief. Yes, I took a loss. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, own the mistakes that I had in there. Yeah, I could have did better in this than the 400 areas. I could have did better in. Like, but I'm not going to get stuck on that either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting stuck on none of this stuff, like, because I saw what the other side was to be stuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like, I'm still so stuck on all of this that now I just expect that when I'm with somebody, they're going to leave me. I just expect that. So I'm, that was the second stage, having to get over my own self. But once I just realized, okay, this is a process, just let it die how it dies. Like, it is what it is. Because other people, like I said, they'll tell you that you probably heard this before. Girl, just let it go. Or, just forgive and forget and just do it. And that's where I go. I don't think I can get with that. Like, a stronger forgiveness is the one that you allow yourself to just process through until eventually you pile on more synapses of a good life with other guys. That's what, so for all the relationships that didn't work out, I had good times. We went on good, good trips, good dates, just had good conversation, met other people, all that stuff. Then I met my current wife. What's up, babe? I met her, you know what I mean? Like, met her and we just had a click. We had a vibe. We just had our thing. We traveled together. We do. And so you just constantly replacing all those little memories, because you can't just get rid of all the little memories. I mean, how do you forget the building, I don't know, Cold Stone Creamery on, I don't know, some random street. I don't know where I'm going with that example. But you know what I mean? Like, that one time you went there, so you drive past it again and you're like, oh, I remember that spot. Oh, that's where me and such, and then boom, it just starts a whole new thing. Well, you couldn't erase that memory. You didn't remember you had that memory until you drove past it. So it might be, and that might be 6 years after the fact that you fully with somebody else and you fully doing but allowing that to just dissipate, it's gonna go through its process again and it's gonna do its thing. But that's why I say, like, if I'm just building it with other good things, other good moments,
Mm-hmm.
other good dates, other good people, other good experiences, all that stuff, then it was a lot easier for that thing over time to get, and now, to just get better. And so now, years ago when I was writing that, I hope you get shit on and feel my pain, like that lyric, like I wouldn't write that lyric anymore. Like
Yeah.
it would be hard for me to pull from that without having to go back to that place. And
Mm-hmm.
because the process just went and eventually love won. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the cool thing about it, that like love does eventually win.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I feel like letting people go, let people go through the process, own the process. Yeah, I still check the prison page. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just to see if he's in there. And
Yeah.
if he's not, okay, cool. If he is, I kind of expected it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like
But
surprise,
at the
surprise.
same time, it's like one day you'll start getting so filled up doing other stuff that you'll forget to check the prison page. I mean, there was a time, and this is how I realized forgiveness was happening for me. Then I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time where every day, all day, that she was going through my mind. And then
Mm.
give it a couple years, and maybe every day she's going through my mind, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
all day. And then give it a little bit more time, and I'm making new experiences. A few times a week, she's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then keep it going. Before you know it, you know what I mean? She's on my mind a couple times a month. And then we
Yeah.
get down the line, and before you know it, it's like, oh, she's on my mind when somebody brings her up. And then
Mm-hmm.
before you know, it's like, I ain't thought about this mug in like
Yeah.
a year. Like, what I forgot all about this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the more that the time went on, it was being replaced with these other good experiences. And
Mm-hmm.
so now that's all been replaced with someone else. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it just happens over time. You got to just allow
Yeah.
to build. And that's why I said that brutal honesty, though. That's one thing I learned in
Mm-hmm.
marriage. That brutal honesty. Like, hey, this is what I deal with, but like I'm here. You stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
Sign some paper. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What an episode. What a journey. This season for me has been about diving deeper. Like
Yeah.
I've talked about the fun stuff, the fuck shit. I've talked about it all. But this episode, I mean not this well, this episode, but also this
Yeah.
season specifically, I wanted to dive deeper because I feel like it's important,
Love
right?
that.
Like we can laugh, we can talk, but we got to get down to the nitty-gritty of what this life is. And I feel like that's what On the Rocks is.
Yeah.
Like it ain't no juice in here. It
Yeah.
ain't no chasers. It ain't no like it's straight liquor.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
gonna burn when it goes down. But yeah, but it's good for you. It's gonna clear your sinuses and it's gonna, put a little hair on your chest. It's gonna make you better.
Yeah.
Not better necessarily alcohol, but like the vulnerability, the being straightforward, the
Mhm.
honesty, like you said a couple of times on this episode, is what makes us better. And so I am so grateful to have shared this time with my friend. I'm so glad that you came into my space. Thank you for like
Hey.
sharing and opening up. It has meant the world to me, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I've definitely learned a lot. You got to know I trust you if I just sat here and told you how I went to the courthouse. Something I thought I was really taking to my grave. Like y'all was gonna put dirt on my ass before I told y'all that story. But here we are. It's out there now. So where can people find you? I know you got some music coming out. You got some concerts going on. You got a
Absolutely.
morning show. You got a wife. You got
Woo.
you're
Yes.
that nigga. So tell the people where they
Hey,
can
come on,
find
I'm
you.
gonna take that. Yes, I'm gonna take that. So let's see. You can find me every morning, every weekday morning at least. And sometimes, if I haven't gotten any sleep, some week in mornings when I think it's a weekday morning. But
Yep.
you can find me on a weekday morning on my YouTube page, just Zeke Locke, ZekeLockE. That's on YouTube, or on my Facebook page, same name or the name reversed, Locke Zeke. And we have a thing we call Zeke Live in the Morning with my friends, Eric Rideout, Rich Holmes, and oh my God, somebody that you guys may have heard of, Rhonda on the Rocks. Yeah. We have an amazing live cast that we do every morning, every weekday morning. We do positive words, positive affirmations, all that stuff. So lock into that, 7:30 to 10. I got music coming out. Yes, we got some concerts. Depending on when this comes out in September, I'll be at the Jazz and Gospel something in Bronzeville. I should really know the names of these things before I mention them. But as I always tell my morning show, if you want any of the wrong information, wrong names, all that, I'm your guy. Like, so, but I know where I'll be. I'll be in Bronzeville. So that's happening. Then the 26th, I'll be in Morgan Park at my own church. We're doing a night of worship. That's going to be fun. So you'll see us doing that. Of course, I got a project that's coming out. Rhonda's been helping keep me accountable to that. So that's coming out. So there's a ton of music that I can't wait for y'all to hear this music. I'm very, very proud of this music. I really am. It's very vulnerable. It's very honest. And people keep telling me that it's very different. So, so you can check all that out. And then we have Healing Voices. Oh, my God. So many things, Rhonda, Jesus Christ. We got Healing Voices every second and fourth Thursday at 114th and Vincennes in Chicago. That is where we sing and do music and things through the trauma. So you can check me out with that. Part of the Community Healing Resource Center, where I site coordinate for that. You can check me out with that every Sunday at 12:30 at APC Morgan Park. I lead worship. You can check me out over there. Boom. Also, my wife, since you mentioned her, I love her dearly. She's my love of my life, and she is on, I guess, YouTube, TikTok, and something else. You probably find me on random videos where she has to mute my voice because I say the wildest things to her when I don't realize she's recording. So, and probably a bunch of other places you can find me that I forgot. So there you go.
Yes, I will be sure to drop all of his tags and links and things in the show notes. This has been a good time. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. This is the best podcast. Like, Zeke has a morning show. It's not a podcast. That's the best morning show. This is the best podcast that you could ever possibly listen to.
And that's a period.
Share it. You know where you can find me at Rhonda on the Rocks on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and on YouTube, Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. Zeke, I love you. I love you, rock stars. See y'all next time. Bye.
Peace.
Now come sit down, come and let me holler at you. Come talk the real with a certified yapper. Conversations about the latest and the greatest in the world. We can talk about that man, or you can tell me about old girl. Got a secret, hey, don't lay it on me. You need a friend, I'll be your big homie. Let's take a sip and talk it out. Therapy without the couch. On the rocks is what you need. Come toast reality with me.